everyone. I pray that you are doing well. Looks like, at least here in Texas, we've gotten a little bit colder weather today, so ew. But I pray that you are doing well. Our group, our fitness group that we are in, that we supervise, we had our call the other night, and the topic of the week is definitely carbs. And so I figured I would take this week to go over some smart carbs that are actually beneficial for you and explain to you how they can help you reach your fitness goals. Okay. Now, one debate that I see go on quite a bit is over whether or not white potatoes or sweet potatoes are better for you. Okay. And really, that depends. My cat is going to join us, obviously. Always. All right, so really that depends on what your goals are, okay? First, let's talk about, are they even the same thing, okay? So actually, they're not. Botanically, they are completely unrelated. White potatoes are actually part of the nightshade family. So they are actually related to tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, things like that, okay? While sweet potatoes are actually related to like morning glories, vines, trees, shrubs, and herbs. And technically, even though we like to dub them as yams, technically they are not yams, okay? And actually, there are a lot more potatoes and sweet potatoes than what we think there are. Typically, we buy either, regular white potato or red potato and then a sweet potato. But actually, yes, she does. Tammy says her kitty wants the spotlight. Always. She always finds a way. But there are 4,000 known varieties of potatoes, and there are 5,000 known varieties of sweet potatoes. Okay, so there's actually a lot of varieties. Where we're at here in Keller, Texas, Central Market has a wonderful variety of both kinds, potatoes and sweet potatoes. Highly recommend checking it out. If you know of another location that has a broader variety of potatoes, please let me know. I have people that want to know. For now, we go to Central Market to get all different kinds, and they are so good. All right, so many claim that sweet potatoes are the superfood, okay? Well, really they're pretty much a tie on the two of them, and it just depends on what your goals are with that meal, okay? Now, I always recommend people getting a rainbow of colors in their diet, all right? So having one or the other or both is actually a good thing because it varies the nutrients that you're getting, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. But otherwise, the main differences between a potato and a sweet potato are calories, all right? Potatoes have 161 calories per serving, while sweet potatoes have 103 calories per serving. If you are looking for increased protein, okay, especially if you're doing vegetarian and you need plant sources of protein, you're going to want to go more with the white potato because a white potato has 4.3 grams of protein per serving, whereas a sweet potato has 2.3. So if you're looking for ways to increase your protein through non-meat sources, a white potato is actually more beneficial. Otherwise, a sweet potato has fewer carbs in it. It has 23.6 grams per serving, while a white potato has 36.6 grams per serving. And fiber, they're about the same, okay? Otherwise, on vitamins, the sweet potato is the clear winner when it comes to vitamin A, okay? It has 438% of your daily recommended intake of vitamin A, while a white potato has none. Otherwise, on the vitamin intake, they are really tied, okay? White potatoes have a better source of vitamin B6, folate, niacin, magnesium, phosphorus, potassium, iron, and copper. While a sweet potato has more of course, the vitamin A, vitamin C, thiamine, riboflavin, and B5. Oh, and manganese. Okay, so having both in your diet is actually very beneficial and helps you get a more diverse range of nutrients. Okay, now I know some of us tend to worry about the glycemic load of potatoes, and especially sweet potatoes, because they do have a higher sugar content. Well, they actually sit in the middle to high range on the glycemic load, okay? And technically, there isn't scientific evidence to support that your glycemic load affects your appetite, your body weight, inflammation, and blood glucose control. So it's really not something you need to worry about, but if you are worried about, they're in the middle to high range, and they're actually less than brown rice, okay? So you're sitting pretty with those. It's okay. Now, many people nowadays claim that you should avoid all tubers because of carbs, okay? And they think that carbs are what make us gain weight. And there's lots of things we can go into on that, and I'll try not to go into it too much. But really, the main problem is our processed carbs, okay? Your tubers are not going to hurt you, and especially if you're watching what toppings you're putting on it, okay? We'll talk about that a little bit. But the carbs in potatoes and sweet potatoes are mostly starch and fiber, okay? Starch and fiber help you stay lean and healthy, okay? They actually contain beneficial resistant starch, which, like fiber, it doesn't digest in your body at all. What it does is it gets fermented in your gut, and that produces short-chain fatty acids. Now, short-chain fatty acids are definitely something you want. They keep you full longer. They increase your mineral absorption and your nutrient circulation. They prevent the absorption of toxins. They decrease your inflammation, and they decrease your risk of colon cancer, okay? These are amazing things that you definitely need in your life, okay? So don't be afraid of the carbs in potatoes and sweet potatoes, because that's going to turn into resistant starch, which is going to act like fiber, and it's going to help you have an amazing gut support, okay? Now, we did talk about it's the way that we either process the potatoes and sweet potatoes or what toppings we put on it, okay? We want to avoid things like fries, chips, and loaded potatoes, loaded sweet potatoes, and putting lots of cream and butter on it, okay? Yes, that is probably not going to be very beneficial for you to have all the time. However, having potatoes or sweet potatoes and either boiling them, roasting them, baking them, using oil and some herbs, that is something that you can have more often than things like fries and chips, okay? Now, there are times where it's okay if we sometimes do a little bit of butter, or maybe some sour cream, or if you prefer like plain Greek yogurt is a great sour cream alternative, okay? Doing that, having a little bit of cheese. Aged cheese is going to be a lot better for you because of the fermentation, the gut health, and the vitamins, and the amino acids, and all the things, but we're not talking about cheese today. Using aged cheese on it is, every once in a while, is great, okay? So don't worry so much about the carb. It's what we're doing to the carb that can impact us much more, okay? Now, if you're wanting to know how many carbs, how much carbs in my day is going to be good for me, okay? Now, for most people, all right, we start with 1 to 2 cupped handfuls of carbs per meal, okay? So that means you take your hand, all right? Let me see if I can, there we go. Take your hand, you cup it, and it's got to be level, and that being filled up, level would be a serving of carbs, okay? If you prefer measuring cups, okay, half a cup to 2/3 of a cup would be about a serving of carbs, okay? 1 to 2 servings of carbs per meal is generally where we like to start people, okay? Otherwise, it depends on your goals, okay? It depends on individual goals, if you want fat loss, if you want muscle gain, if you need fuel for athletic performance, all those things. It really depends. And if you want to chat with me about, there's the cat again. If you want to chat with me about what your body needs for your individual body and your goals, love to chat with you and help you out with that. She's tickling me. All right. So really, carbs are a great thing. And having 1 to 2 portions per meal, it's gonna have so many benefits, many more benefits, especially if we watch how we cook them and how we prepare them. They're gonna give you benefits, okay? The benefits of having carbs, whether those carbs are potatoes, sweet potatoes, beans, lentils, fruit, whole grains, all those things. What they do is help you feel psychologically satisfied and physically satiated, okay? Being full and being satisfied is going to help you eat less in the long run, okay? So don't be afraid of having them because they're going to help you eat less and feel satisfied, okay? And that's the goal, right? So if we don't want to snack more often, if we want to avoid dessert, if we want to avoid grabbing the trigger foods, having carbs in our diet will actually help us reach those goals, okay? Having a carb variety, varying your carb source from potatoes, sweet potatoes, lentils, whole grains, beans, fruit, veggies, whatever it may be, will actually help vary the color on your plate. And by varying the color, we're varying the nutrients that we are getting, okay? Fruits, vegetables, all foods are the color that they are because of the nutrients that they contain. So if we vary the colors that we are eating, we have a variety of nutrition, okay? So having carbs in our diet helps us get the nutrients that we need, all right? Carbs, they also help you have a steady, slow burning source of energy, especially if you pair them with protein, okay? So giving you that energy to get through your day, not needing to grab the Starbucks or whatever it may be to fuel your energy needs, they're actually going to benefit you in the long run with that. And as always, having carbs, having a varied diet that is satisfying, keeps you physically full, that is exactly what is going to help you achieve your health and your fitness goals, okay? Deanna, she has shared that if you're really worried about the glycemic load or index, boiling instead of baking or roasting and then adding fat after can create more resistant starch and lower the glycemic load. Very, very true. So take that tip along with the others, and that'll definitely help you out in the long run nutritionally. If you need help and want to be educated more on what smart carbs are, what carbs are good for you, what carbs are not so great for your health goals, how many carbs do I need, how few carbs do I need, whatever it may be, when should I eat the carbs, all the things. If you need help with that, please reach out to myself or to my husband Sam, and we would love to help you. Like I said, this week I'm going to focus on different carb sources, how we can compare them and have ones that are more beneficial for our body. So look out for the videos this week and learn all you can about whole, unprocessed sources of carbs that are beneficial and help you reach your goals. You guys have a great day. Bye.